on your left, Uppal on your right. Is it Phoenix versus Dredge? And away we are about to go for our second match here in round number 2. Again, you can join the conversation all weekend long at SCG Tour. Hashtag SCGCOL, as Uppal is going to sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire while Woolwine is going to just play a Steam Vents Tapped. There's a stomping ground for Justin. He'll sacrifice a Scalding Tarn. Get himself a basic mountain. Perhaps it's time for a Cathartic Reunion, given the lack of a turn 1 play. And there is a card Cathartic Reunion. Discarding a Stinkweed Imp and a Prized Amalgam. So, Dredge 5, Creeping Chill, Bloodghast among those cards. Narcomoeba as well. Now he'll Dredge Loam. So, building up a graveyard and a bit of a battlefield. Keep in mind, this is a draw 3, so he had to draw just a card naturally. Amalgam will enter the battlefield as well. And it's a good start there for Uppal. And importantly there for Woolwine, it is a copy of Thing in the Ice.
Yeah, very rare for decks in Modern to keep opening hands with nothing to do on the first turn. So if Woolwine kept a hand that did nothing on turn 1 here, if I'm in Uppal's position, I'm assuming that that Thing in the Ice is going to be eligible to transform next turn.
An Amalgam and Narcomoeba will attack into the Thing in the Ice. The Amalgam will go unblocked. And now that'll be a mountain. Bloodghast is going to come back. The follow-up is a Faithless Looting from the graveyard. Conflagrate among the cards that Uppal has found here. Stinkweed Imp appears to be one of the cards that will be discarded. Perhaps the Prized Amalgam will be the other, as Uppal thinks things through a little bit and wants to make sure he knows exactly how Awoken Horror will work. I think I agree with you, partner. It shouldn't be too tough for Woolwine to transform this next turn, especially with Lava Dart being in the format as well. It's actually gotten somewhat easier to transform.
Yep, another free spell.
So we'll head back over to Michael for a very important third turn of the game. Fiery Islet.
Islet.
No, thank you. Yes.
We got bodied on Twitter about
the S
this.
you do not pronounce. Thank you. Thank you. Just got ruined on Twitter last 2 shows ago in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Well, a couple copies of Manamorphose means that this thing is transforming, unless something weird happens. There's a Thought Scour. This will transform. It's going to up-evolve Uppal's permanents. Aria Flame and Flame Slasher headed to the graveyard. A card will be drawn there from the Thought Scour. And now here's the Faithless Looting. This is a heck of a turn here for Michael. He's looking for some Arclight Phoenixes now. He's got at least one to discard. And it looks like maybe Magmatic Sinkhole will be the other discard. It's actually going to be Scalding Tarn, that is the discard. Arclight Phoenix will come back from the graveyard. It's an attack there for 10. Uppal will get a Narcomoeba from the Dredge. Is he able to somehow win the game on this turn, though? That's the big question. He's discarding a lot of cards for Conflagrate, it appears.
Trying to get rid of the Awoken Horror here.
It doesn't appear as though going upstairs will help much.
Yeah, it's a little short. And from this position, if you can sort of blunt away this part of Woolwine's offense, you actually have a lot of time to reassemble.
There's Shriekhorn. And now Uppal's going to sacrifice the Wooded Foothills. Get himself a Blood Crypt that's going to earn the battlefield tapped as he falls down to 10. Bloodghast is going to come back from the graveyard, which means Prized Amalgams are going to come back from the graveyard. He'll mill with Shriekhorn. Looks like maybe some poor sequencing here from Justin. Yeah. I'm not too sure. Well, it looks like 2 Prized Amalgams should come back, yeah. So there we go. Let's head back over to Michael in a moment, since Justin can't do any attacking. A Lightning Bolt's going to go upstairs. It'll be a 3-for-1 damage exchange. Michael's got to take 1 to cast it. Uppal will take 3 from the Fiery Islet. There it is, Islet. Found it. Woolwine going to take a look at the graveyard. That one's not hard to pronounce. Arclight Phoenix is going to get blocked very quickly by the Narcomoeba. There's another copy of Thing in the Ice. Should he be casting Thing in the Ice with that Steam Vent instead of 2 islands? Inability to play 2 red spells now.
Yeah.
There's a Life from the Loam. Steam Queen up among the cards that have been dredged. There's a Creeping Chill. See what we got here. There's Loam. Blood Crypt, Forgotten Cave, and Stomping Grounds are the cards that are headed back to Uppal's hand.
Yeah, having a cycle land as part of this engine now is so powerful for this deck. Before, the Loam was really just another dredger that could play you towards a Conflagrate, but now you can Loam, get back a Forgotten Cave, cycle, and then dredge again. Make sure Loam's a lot more explosive.
That's exactly what we're going to see there. Prize among those cards that have been dredged. Blood Crypt's going to enter the battlefield tap. That's going to bring back a Blood Gas, which is going to bring back a Prized Amalgam. These creatures can attack. And now Amalgam will come back. So the hope here, if you're Uppal, is you don't die this turn. Opt is a good place to start.
It's not looking good for Uppal. It looks like the rest of Woolwine's hand here is spells. He just down the Thought Scour. Although he's got to make sure that he, I guess he has a bolt that it's all good. Yep. You don't have to worry about the Arclight Phoenix getting returned to your hand via the Awoken Horror trigger. It's all good.
There's the Flame Slash. The Arclight Phoenix actually would get put back into Woolwine's hand, but that 7 damage is going to be more than enough. So Michael Woolwine's going to win game number 1 here over Justin Uppal, as Is It Phoenix takes game number 1 against Dredge. Sideboards here real quick for you, as these players are going to sideboard a little bit quicker than they normally would. Justin Uppal with a very nice sideboard guide there. Very, very nice. I've got 4 Nature's Claims, 3 Lightning Axe, 2 Ancient Grudge, 2 Leyline of Sanctity, a Ghost Quarter, a Shenanigans, an Abrupt Decay, and a Dark Blast here for Justin Uppal.
Well, you definitely want the Lightning Axes as a way to answer Thing in the Ice. By far is It Phoenix's best card in the matchup. And it's not unreasonable to have some number of Nature's Claims to hedge against sideboard cards, but you could also just leave those back if you didn't want to have them.
Other side of things here for Michael Woolwine and his Is It Phoenix deck. I've got 3 Ravenous Trap, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Saheeli, Sublime Artificer, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Abrade, a Narset Parter of Veils, an Anger of the Gods, and a Grim Lavamancer. Very stock stuff here from Michael.
Yeah, I like the 1 copy of Anger of the Gods along with the 3 Ravenous Traps. You can also talk me into the 2 copies of Spell Pierce. There aren't a ton of targets, but the ones that you do hit are really high value. And I like Blood Moon in this matchup too, as a way to shut off the Conflagrate, Life from the Loam, mid to late game engine.
Well, those are the options there for both players. You already see them doing a little pile shuffle action, so game number 2 is going to be underway here in just a bit. Ryan Overture, Todd Anderson, they'll be hopping in their 3rd show in a row. They kicked things off in SCG Worcester. They did SCG Philadelphia last week, and they were here this week, and those boys have been on the road, my friend.
3rd show in a row, like that's some sort of accomplishment. Do you know how many shows in a row we did?
I don't even want to think about it.
3?
Yeah.
That's just a month.
That is.
You did 1 month.
That is a month, yes. I don't want to downplay what they've been doing.
I do.
Oh, well, I can tell. 3 in a row is a lot, man. After that 3rd show, you were done, bro.
That's not.
You were all set.
I just went back to the office and worked my other gig.
Yeah. I remember that tired look, waking up in the morning, not sure what city we're in.
Yep.
What time our flight leaves. I remember. It was a lot. But it was fun.
New Mulligan in the house.
London style. I like it, by the way. I like it a lot. Been playing a decent amount of Magic Arena with mono blue aggro.
Yep.
London Mulligan, I'm into it. I'm starting to really just understand how it works. I think it's better than Vancouver Mulligan, but I thought the Vancouver Mulligan was good too. I liked that too. It just makes it so that when you used to win on a Mulligan to 5 back in like 2004, all the more impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was hard mode. Leyline of Sanctity is where Uppal's going to start. And now he's got a Shriekhorn. Steam Vent's going to enter the battlefield untapped into a Serum Visions here from Michael. He'll scry 2. Split the difference on the scry. We head back over to Uppal. Golgari Thug among the cards that have been hit with the Shriekhorn. And will there be any dredging to start? There will be. So 4 cards, Narcomoeba among them, Creeping Chill, and Prize Mug. That's a pretty good start if you're just an Uppal. Uppal will sacrifice that Bloodstain Mire. He'll get himself a basic mountain very quickly. So it's 22 to 15. Now here's Life from the Loam, so we're going to get a couple lands back too. If you're Uppal, you got to be thrilled with this jump. Surgical Extraction. Looks like it's going to take care of the Amalgams. Yes. So Michael will fall a little bit lower, but he'll take care of that problematic zombie as he's already pretty far behind. So that's a timely extraction.
I like it when people, pay mana for their cards. Wish we had a little bit more of that going on.
Nah. Life's a resource too, bruh.
Well, the Ley Line, the Extraction, the Narcomoeba, the Amalgam.
Yeah. The Thing in the Ice.
That was actually mana was spent.
That was true. Shriekhorn's going to turn over a couple of cards. Loam's going to be dredged. Stinkweed Imps have been found. This is the 3rd land. Is there a Faithless Looting down there? Well, there's a Bloodghast, that's for sure. Now there's a Looting. Let's dredge 10, huh? Looting, Loam, Leyline, Blast Zone, Scalding Tarn. I can keep up. Shriekhorn, Axe, Gemstone Mine, Narcomoeba, Stinkweed Imp. Those 10 cards are gone. There's your draw 2. He'll discard 2 Stinkweed Imps. We'll Uppal. Narcomoeba's going to come across here for 1. Will the Thing in the Ice transform this turn? It did last turn on turn 3. Last game, pardon me, on turn 3. Can't complain about this start if you're Justin Uppal. This is really all you could ask for.
Ravenous Trap down there in Woolwine's hand. I don't think Uppal did enough last turn, or threatened to do enough to make Woolwine want to fire that one off.
Pluto Delta's the land for the turn. Woolwine's hand is just okay right now. Finale of Promise in there. And he'll sacrifice the Pluto Delta to get a basic island. Woolwine. Oh, well, there's the finale. Serum Visions and Surgical Extraction. That's an instant and a sorcery. There's your Visions. Draw 1. Down to 2 counters. Scry, 2. Split the difference on the Scry. Surgical. Going to go after Blast Zone. Okay. Don't think there's any more of those hiding out in there, but worth a look just in case. The answer is no. He plans on shuffling that deck. There we go. Life from the Loam, Golgari Thug, Blood Crypt, Scalding Tarn. That's Justin Uppal's hand. The only thing Woolwine doesn't know is what he's drawn. Now, do my eyes deceive me, or did Michael Woolwine forget to remove a counter from playing that Surgical Extraction from his Thing in the Ice? Started on 4. Finale is 1 spell.
So.
Serum Visions is 2. Surgical Extraction is 3. I wonder if this will come back to hurt him at all.
Well, I mean, he's got a Ravenous Trap in hand, so this is actually potentially bad news.
Yeah.
I think any hit here for the Conflagrate is going to... I guess he was dead regardless if he went to 6. No, the attack from the Narcomoeba actually matters.
Okay.
Okay.
So Justin Uppal's going to win game number 2 here over Michael Woolwine. These players are going to get ready here for game number 3. Justin Uppal takes a short break. But you know what that means? We can just speed her on up.
Yeah.
We don't got to wait for him.
Yeah. We have the technology.
We have the technology, folks. Yes, we do. Is it Phoenix Dredge? A pretty classic modern matchup if there was one over the past year or so.
Yeah, it was, I would say, the matchup of Modern prior to Modern Horizons.
Because these were arguably the 2 best decks in the format. And they're still quite good, to be fair.
Yeah. People still played, have played, even in the souped-up Bridge from Below version, people still played Is It Phoenix to success. And people still, played it in Barcelona this weekend as well. So Thing in the Ice is still powerful against that strategy, even if it's more high power than the previous Dredge build. Still works about the same way. And now you don't have to worry about the Confligate burnouts as much as you used to.
It's true as well. Well, these players are taking a look at their openers and all that jazz. And then game number 3 will be underway here from lovely Columbus, Ohio. Where yesterday we had a great dinner. I know you got in a little late. You did your own thing.
Yeah, got here around midnight, wandered out. There's a street vendor selling hot dogs, had one of those.
How was that?
It's great.
Yeah, of course
it was awesome. Went down the street, caught the end of it. Unwisely decided to watch the end of the Giants-Padres game.
Sounds horrible.
It was not good.
Leyline of Sanctity here from Justin to get things started. Fiery Islet. Now I'm thinking I just want to say Islet the entire time, but I'm not gonna. Faithless Looting there for Uppal to get things started. Woolwine, no cantrip to start the game. Ooh, boy, 2 Islets to start the game, though. That's kind of tough. Thing in the Ice, unsurprisingly, probably going to be able to transform that on turn 3, given the lack of a cantrip on turn number 1. Time to dredge life from the loam. Creeping Chill is going to flip the life totals a little bit here. Scalding Tarn is going to bring back a Bloodghast. Uppal will sacrifice that Scalding Tarn. He's going to dig through the deck, get himself a basic mountain. Let's see what comes next here. Justin's thinking loam. He will get a land back in Wooded Foothills. And now we're heading back over to Woolwine.
I mean, it's an issue here for Woolwine to be on these 2 fiery islets and have Surgical Extraction among his graveyard heat.
I agree.
Mean, even if he transforms Thing in the Ice quickly, he could still just get burned out this game. I wonder if he floated black mana through the Manamorphose.
That's a good question. No, it looks like just 1 blue floating. Looks like blue are the colors that are floating right now.
So it would be really nice for Woolwine to be able to play the Surgical Extraction for normal black mana if he could.
There's Scry 1 on the op, and now here is Surgical Extraction. So there go the Loams, and now here comes the Awoken Horror. Going to flashback Faithless Looting now, will Justin. Stinkweed Imp and Bloodghast head to the graveyard. So the hope here for Uppal is that you don't die this turn. I think it's unlikely that he will. And then do something big the next turn as he falls down to 8 from the Awoken Horror. Surgical Extraction is going to take care of the Stinkweed Imp. Well, it's not a good hand. Yeah, what is Leyline in for?
Is it Bolts to the Face?
I guess Rav Trap?
Ravenous Trap. Not a ton.
Seems ambitious.
I think now with the new Mulligan system, there's such a powerful incentive to be playing with the Leylines.
Sure. I can buy that. There's a... Oh, Toot the Horn, huh? All right, Narcomoeba in the house.
We got Narcomoeba.
Yeah. We got a Blood Curve, bring back Bloodghast. Narcomoeba's looking to block. See how that works out. Michael has Flame Slash in hand. Can kill the Narcomoeba and then knock Uppal down to 1.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. You're looking at a hit on the way back. It's possible Uppal can get a Confiscate into the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a point here is, by no means free. Any tapping of mana here, if you don't win the game, it's really dangerous.
He's tapping a lot of mana. He's going down to 4?
Yeah, I mean, Uppal's got hits off the Shriekhorn.
Oh, yeah.
Many hits.
It's going to be an upkeep, activate Shriekhorn almost assuredly. Prized Amalgam, Stomping Ground, drew a copy of Golgari Thug, I think. Yes, that can block. Can't cast the Narcomoeba. Draw. Flame Slash, put you down to 3, and that is going to do it. Michael Woolwine, even though he started off with 2 copies of Fiery
Islet.
There you go. Able to win the game and match over Justin Uppal, 2-1. Is it Phoenix? Take